All right, guys. First, last shoot as well for the year. Uh, on board today, we have Coach Lloyd and RJ in the house. What's up, boys?
Yeah. What's up,
Cool.
boys?
Excited to be back.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
It's good to be back.
So, if you don't know, we're basketball, mainly a basketball podcast. Cover all things basketball, all from different angles. RJ here is a sneaker king, and then you got Coach Lloyd, currently coaching many places. So let's get into it. So today we're going to discuss, as it's a new season and we're out of the bubble, we're going to talk about early season favorites, teams that have surprised ourselves, MVP predictions, and breakout candidates. So we're shooting this podcast on the 29th in Australia. The Lakers game just finished. So I'll start with RJ. I'm assuming that his early season favorite will be the Lakers, but I'll let him get into that. Sir, please grace us with your opinion.
Well, of course. What can I say? When you say about the champions are going to be the champions, um, and they are going to be the way they are. I mean, why wouldn't you go against them? To me, they've got an improved lineup. They brought in Schroeder. They brought in Gasol. I think you've brought in more guys who have a better basketball IQ. Not to say the ones who left didn't, but they brought more basketball IQ in. Apart from that, then what can you say about the Lakers? I mean, my gosh. I mean, except for today's game, I'm sure you guys have watched it. Not too worried about it. It's just a game. It's just water under the bridge, you know. Just don't worry about that.
All right. So that's your early season favorite. That's Lakers and nothing else. Nothing else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on now.
Hey, just asking the questions. So, Coach Lloyd, I get to you, Coach Lloyd. Who are your favorites?
Yeah, look, I can't go past the Lakers as much as I don't want to say it. They're gonna be good in the long term. They just need guys to actually turn up for the first 10 games. I know they said LeBron and AD didn't want to play until January, but they're playing, so they may as well be there and play hard. Like AD didn't turn up until mid third quarter today, and he didn't play yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. So, early predictions yourself is also the Lakers. Okay. I guess my jersey might say everything about the Lakers.
Yeah.
I guess they're a team that they've kind of removed a lot of dead weights that cost a lot of money. I'm not saying that the championship the championship was won based on all those group of players, but in terms of skill point and also like a building point to get players similar age or similar time frame to AD was a massive coup. They got a lot of players that I guess were cheap, were relatively cheap compared to the stars they had. With every championship that a team wins, all the players' values always increase. So that and the Lakers couldn't keep all the players. So that's definitely one of the reasons I guess what the Lakers did was quite impressive. Thoughts, boys? Agree? We all
Totally agree.
That's very rare. We all agree. Let's move on to the next section where RJ, I just want your opinion on teams that have surprised you so far early in the season.
Oh man. Cleveland and Atlanta. 3-0. Did anyone see this coming? I did not see Cleveland going 3-0 at the beginning of the season. I did not see Atlanta going 3-0, despite them looking good on paper. But I did not expect that. I thought they would probably win, 1-2 games max. But to go 3-0, it's a real surprising thing. And looks like they've buckled down. Looks like the culture they've got there has locked in. And it looks like they're ready for the season.
Yep. Any other teams that surprise you? Just those two main teams, Cleveland and Atlanta. How about the West?
Most of the West, I'm not surprised. I mean, Dallas, they've got a slightly improved lineup. I think it's great. I think Portland again. I'm not surprised. Um, Majority is healthy now. They've signed, who they had to sign. I wasn't really surprised about the West. The West are always going to be guns, and they're continue going to lift their game, simply because of the Lakers, of course. But in the East, well, what they people say the cakewalk East, to have someone like Atlanta, and also Cleveland to go 3-0. Look, it's too early, and what they say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But for those teams, I wasn't expecting it. To be honest with you, I was expecting, one win, two wins, but to go 3-0. But their players, I mean, they've really stepped up. Trey Young's have really stepped up, and also Colin Sexton has really stepped up. So
Yeah.
with that in mind, they've done great. The West, not a surprise. It's a very tough. The West is always going to be tough, and the Lakers. I was surprised the Lakers didn't actually win today, but they're going to drop one here and there just to sort of bring competition back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't win everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach, you still got
I
your
mean,
coach? Okay, cool. So yeah, just let's get to me. Actually, coach, are you there?
Coach Z.
We got you back. Cool. So what are your I guess your teams that surprised you so far?
Harden hasn't been in the strip club again. But no, Houston for me, like they weren't going to do anything. That was just going to be the thing until he gets traded where he wants to go. I'm surprised Brooklyn lost 2 in a row. But
I'm not.
yeah, but the second game, right?
The Cavs 3-0. I can't.
Yeah, but it's really, I guess, yeah. The question was early season favorites. Sorry, early season surprises. So definitely those teams that you mentioned are surprises for sure. Was there any other teams? Was there other teams that surprised you other than RJ picks?
For sure.
Who else? Okay, I'm just gonna move on to me at the moment. So, yeah, RJ, you put that out. Those two teams definitely, but we know in a long season, it's basically how you finish, not how you start. Big concern about the Lakers. They had all these. Being a favorite is different from being being an underdog. So we'll see how that pans out for the Lakers. But as long as they make the top 8 and they make the playoffs, then we'll basically judge them on that. All right. So RJ, tell me about your MVP picks.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but of course I'm going to have to go with LeBron. Year 18, doing
And
what
you can be
he's doing.
concerned, but and you got to be concerned with and you're concerned with his I guess the load management this year, like the amount of time he's going to play, having AD as a teammate. That counts out a lot of votes. Do these things worry you?
No, they don't worry me at all, because I'm sure with their squad, they know what their role has to be, and they know that LeBron will be the forefront of their championship run. So, and LeBron knows what he has to do. He has AD there, but he knows that AD is really not there. He's there to really win championships, and he wants. I think he still wants to win Defensive Player of the Year. So he knows that. Well, okay. Well, you know what? If you get it, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure that they know that. Well, this is what you have to do, and it's what I have to do. And you can tell from their communication alone, from their playoff run last year. There's no jealousy. There's none of this. It is purely play your role. Let's play. Let's win. And you know what I mean. I think Luka also is a good front runner for MVP. Let's talk about that 51-point win later. But anyway, but yeah, I think Luka has a very good chance of winning MVP this year. He's really flourishing as a player. And you know what? I think this year, I think has a chip on his shoulder. I'm gonna throw out there Damian Lillard. I think.
Damian Lillard. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna come to you, Coach. Who are your thoughts, I guess, for MVP?
What was the question, man? I dropped.
Let's go. Yeah. The question was MVP. Who do you think will have, I guess,
Look, it's going to be
win
Giannis
MVP?
again.
Are you concerned about voting fatigue? Cool. We're just gonna get back to the panel.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
Giannis will get it again, even though.
So RJ. Are you just cutting out, Lloyd? So RJ, what?
Yeah, look, I just
So RJ, what are
Giannis
your
will be
thoughts?
MVP again, just because the numbers he puts up, or what he does. But even though the team sucks.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else? You think, Lloyd? Okay, let's technical difficulties with Lloyd's connection. So, so RJ, so what are your thoughts on Giannis?
I don't think he'll win MVP this year. I think he's had a good run. I think it's going to stop as of this year. Congratulations on him for signing a max contract with Milwaukee. But
Definitely deserved.
yeah, well deserved. Well deserved. I mean, he also carried a team that was very, not as strong. But even though they've got eliminated in the first round, but to carry that sort of team and come first in the East, I still think that's a great job. But no, his MVP run will stop this year. And you're gonna have to give it to Luka or LBJ, potentially even Damian Lillard as well.
Yeah, Damian Lillard, he just has to get his games in, right? Because he's the alpha male in Portland, the main guy. Just needs to keep on. The team has to perform better. If they fall in the top three in the West, definitely has a shot. In terms of, in my opinion, Giannis won't win it because of voter fatigue. We haven't seen. I'm not sure of the issue, but we haven't seen anyone in this modern day win 3 in a row. You got back to back 3 in a row. For him to win 3 in a row, the Bucks need to match what they did last season. So best record in the league, definitely, and which we should probably have an opportunity to get. But I just feel that it's a down year because now that he's signed for long term, the motivation for Milwaukee might not be there anymore. And as a team and overall, and then you keep on running it back with pretty much the same amount of players. Sure, you got Drew Holiday, but I don't think he moves the needle enough for the Bucks. Shout out to the Bucks, and they pretty much did all they can. They explored every opportunity. They screwed up the trade. One of the signings, which they lost the second round draft pick to.
Yeah, that was
it's pretty poor, but at the same time, they probably leaked it just to show Giannis that where we're trying, right? And maybe they heard something that he might sign with someone else, or he wanted to trade. So we don't know what those dealings. But at the end of the day, I don't think Giannis will win. In my opinion, I think Luka has probably the best upside. He like every year we talk about the narrative of the season, right? And having Luka coming from this is his 3rd year, and last year he had his leap from a rookie into MVP status was amazing, and he's got so many years left to play that the league will there's a narrative if he plays really well, gets a triple double. He's like light skin, and like he has the world at his feet. Like he plays with a smile. Like he's marketable. He's overseas. He's got a European market. Yeah. So there's
next face of the NBA.
Yeah, definitely. Like as long as he keeps his nose clean, like he doesn't go and get lemon pepper wings at a club, or like stays out too late with rappers, throwing money. It's horrible, man. You know what I mean? So definitely he has a lot of like he has a lot of upside. So Luka has a lot of upside to get where we needs to go, and the NBA would love to market him. He's such a marketable
Oh
player.
yeah.
You know?
Yes.
He makes his
Yes.
team better. He plays with a smile. You think about when the Warriors won. That's Steph. Steph was the marketing. Steph is relatable. Steph is relatable. It could be you. You know what I mean? You could be a child, not built. Because you think about like LeBron. LeBron's a beast, right?
I didn't. You said that. I didn't say that.
Yeah, LeBron's a beast, right? Like for him to get his body, it took him so long. But people don't want to work hard. People just want to shoot threes from half court, miss 10 of them, and still wear a Steph Curry jersey and wear Steph Curry shoes, right? Honestly, yeah.
I guess.
Remarkable
All
around
right.
the world. Around the world, everyone can chuck up half court 3-pointers, right? But no one can dunk. Do all the spin moves,
True.
baseline.
True.
Like
All
what
right.
LeBron's game is built over the years, right? I'm not saying the Curry's game isn't, but it's easier. It's when you're to the eye test. When you see Curry shoot threes, and you're like, oh, I can do that. He's not muscular. Okay, so that could be me. So that's why it was a marketing gene at that time. Coach, we got you back.
Got me back.
Coach, we got you back. Cool. All right, Coach. Same question. We'll ask you again. Your MVP, you said you didn't like Giannis.
No,
What else?
No, I do like Giannis. I said the team.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you did. I didn't like it. Okay. Yep.
No, I said I like Giannis, but the team sucks. So
Okay.
they lost the weapons, and they're going to struggle. That's where I go with it. Like Brook Lopez is getting on in years. Guys like DJ that come off the bench, they're not very good. They're going to be ballpark middle, but he's just going to have the best stats in the league. He's going to triple double most games.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about the Drew Holiday signing? Then myself and RJ, we just talked about it. I felt it didn't move the needle as much for me. Like he's not a difference maker. He's a good player, borderline all-star, but a bit like the players he has already. There's no one else that can carry that team unless if Giannis is not firing. As a collective, they might be okay, but we've seen in the playoffs when they had no one else to carry him when he sprained his ankle last playoffs. Yeah. Your thoughts on that?
Him and Bledsoe swapping just sort of, I don't know, it sort of negated each other. But Bledsoe got their game winner the other day for the Pelicans. So has Holiday done that yet? No. So
It was a nice block, by the way.
It was a very nice block. DeRozan had no idea that was coming, but it was a horrible impact anyway for the Spurs. It's probably the worst one that Pop's ever had to look at. He wouldn't have designed it that way. He just would have gone get the quick two and then get back to whatever. But Drew Holiday for me, he's a good, solid individual player. He gets to the rim himself. He can go and score, but he doesn't make the team better.
Yeah, definitely a good guy. I think Drew Holiday is. I think he's donating the rest of his salary this year to certain charities. So definitely a good person. But in terms of basketball, I would definitely agree with you that he hasn't added in more than Bledsoe. If they could get like a top 10 player, then definitely it will basically make him more MVP. Championship contenders for sure.
Yeah, they need to.
Yep. Just moving on to the next session. So come back to you, RJ. Thoughts on breakout candidates this year. You think about last year. We had all the Hornets guys that broke out. Was it Graham? Graham for the Hornets. Yeah, he broke out. Yeah. So I guess similar onto those lines. Let me know what your thoughts are on the breakout candidates you think will come out to the 2020-2021 season.
Okay. Well, I'll start with what I said before. I have to say Colin Sexton. The guy's been averaging almost 27 points per game for the last 3 games. For me, it would have to be Brandon Ingram. I think this year is going to be one of his best years. I think he's going to help with the team to possibly get a top 5 position in the West. But hey, man, like, what can I say? That guy is really, really good. I watched him the other day when they were playing San Antonio. Man, like Ingram, man, ever since he signed the contract, he's really played his game. He's really played his game. and I don't know how to pronounce Sabonis in Indiana. I think
Yeah.
he's going to be, now that he's healthy, I think he's going to be a big factor in Indiana's run for top 5 in the East, without a doubt.
Yep. Cool. Is that all you got? That's your picks?
For now, yes. That's my picks.
For now, that's all we can ask for you. So Coach Lowe, we're coming to you again. Your picks. You have an eye for talent, definitely. You can see players. They work hard. That good for team morale and teamwork. So your thoughts on this topic of breakout candidates 2020-2021 season.
Yeah, look, RJ just said it. That was my one, Domantas Sabonis from Indiana. He just looks like he's added some more size. He looks stronger. He's finishing better. He's shooting the ball better. I think Sabonis is going to be good for Indiana. But I mean, Miles Turner as well for Indiana. He's averaging like 5.75 blocks per game. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So those two together, holy God, you can worry about that front court.
True.
Yeah. That's definitely a revelation. I haven't really been keeping up with Indiana, so yeah, I'll take your word for it. Did you have anyone else that you think that deserves a shout out, and you think that will be, I guess, breakout player / most improved player of the year?
Yeah, look, Anthony Edwards from Minnesota is quite good. He said that the NBA is too easy, but then when they lost to the other day, it wasn't that easy for him. But I mean, he'll get better for that. Just some of the and Okoro for the Cavaliers. I like him. Good defender, and he plays hard, and that's what's helping the Cavs. They sort of got a good system right now. They've just got guys that just want to play hard and play for JB Bickerstaff, the coach. He had a pretty tough run when he was in Houston and things like that. Now he seems to find a team that he can actually develop. So, yeah, I think that's a good year. And they don't have Tristan Thompson. They don't have the Kardashian influence.
They can just play basketball without the cameras being around. It's funny you mentioned that because I followed LeBron on Instagram, and every time when he was in the Cavs, when they were training, the Kardashian crew were allowed to actually film inside the training room, and then LeBron would just call them out like fakers or idiots, or he didn't give a fuck. He basically just said whatever he wanted. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was a circus. Anyway, yeah, it was a circus. It's surprising they could win a championship. So my one candidate breakout player that I have is Christian Wood. Actually, really,
yes.
Yeah, I've been following him, and literally like the capacities of having him as like what you call it, AD, like and you're like, no way. And then when I after the first game, and I watched the last 2 games for Houston, sure, they haven't been winning, but I can definitely see the fundamentals in his game. That he has confidence, he has the height, he has the game, but I guess my concerns is the Houston situation with Harden is a bit of a mess. They handed the reins over to him as a player, and now he doesn't want to play for them. So, and because they have 2 years on his contract, they're not trading him for garbage, or they don't want to, as they shouldn't, right? But I think that might hamper Christian Wood's growth, because he doesn't know who his teammate's going to be, But shout out to him. Like the last couple of games, he's been playing really well. They went down today, but he's playing. He's playing a role. Like it's pretty much him and Harden at the moment. So I guess because they're short-handed with Wall and Cousins and the other players that can't play due to COVID regulations. So yeah, that's my one candidate so far that I really like. All the other players, I like the Lakers, of course, because I'm wearing Lakers jersey. Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell. But they're doing what they did last season, so it was already a high level. And then for them to do it in the Lakers colors, it's definitely something that I'll be looking out for. So yeah, so boys, I guess we open the chat up to anything else you want to discuss. You know, we've hit all the major topics. RJ, you happy with the NBA back on? What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I'm so happy about it because with COVID now back on the boards here in New South Wales, man, it's such a refreshing thing. I get to watch it on NBA TV again. I mean, it's 24/7 NBA for me. So, um, and it's the thing I want to bring up too is what about that game with Dallas and Clippers? Jeez, I don't understand. I don't understand. Please make me understand, boys. Please let me understand. I don't get it. 50 down by 50 at halftime, beaten by 51. Are we missing something here? Is this preseason or?
No,
I'm pretty
too
sure
much,
it's the season.
too much eggnog. I'm telling you. Paul George said it. He had a big Christmas day. Too much eggnog. He was feeling heavy.
Yeah, boys, did you watch the game? Like I
couldn't.
I saw the score after the first quarter, and I was like, "Is this real? Like, am I not getting an update?" And then when I logged in, and I go Quasi playing for sure. I go PG playing. I go
He did play limited
That's
minutes.
what I'm saying. Like that's saying like I thought he wasn't playing because they were down by so much, and then he was playing, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense for that to have a good team again, and then I don't know, they just didn't come to play.
His continuous performance from the playoffs last year.
Playoff?
He is. Pandemic P is back, baby. Yeah.
I woke up and I saw the halftime score, and I grabbed my phone and I was like,
I know the feeling.
Logan, I put a log in and have a look, and then I looked on NBA TV and I was like, oh, this is actually the score. And then he's shooting like 23%. And I'm like, well, that'll do it. That'll absolutely do it. You shoot 23 and someone shoots well past 60, yeah, you're going to be down 50 at halftime.
They didn't come to play. They didn't come to play. They really didn't care, man.
Yeah. I definitely thought that if you wanted to be down, the first quarter is the best place to be down. At least you got the whole game to catch up, right?
That's right. Yeah, at least.
Down by 50, at least make up 10 points every quarter. Come to the fourth quarter, be down by about 20. It gives yourselves a shot. But it also shows that in the NBA, right? In the NBA, anyone can beat anyone on a given day. If you don't turn up to play, if you don't turn up to do your job, if you don't turn up to be a professional, you will get blown out. Doesn't matter who you are, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
It's just embarrassing.
Today was Ja Morant's ankle when he went down.
I saw that, yeah.
That didn't look good when he had to get off in a wheelchair.
Yeah. It came out negative, though. He's in a boot, but it came out negative. So at least you won't miss him for the season. And I was watching them today, too.
Yeah, he's young, and they have the technology and the body science to get him back quickly. So, he's got that on his side. So, definitely hope him to get back on the court. Definitely a good player.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Same as the Nets, Dinwiddie, partial torn ACL.
Partial torn, yeah.
Oh man, I didn't see that game. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's why we shoot as well.
I'm not surprised by Brooklyn losing in a row.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised by Brooklyn losing 2 games in a row. So again, guys, this is the start.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, Curry wasn't playing today, so it looks like he's on load management. And I think Steve Nash goes, "Oh, Curry can take a day off today." KD played today. I mean, but I watched the Hornets and the Brooklyn game yesterday. Shout out to Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball, Devontae Graham, Bismack Biyombo. Hey man, they did real well against Brooklyn. I tell you what, that for me, I think Charlotte now is in the right direction going forward. I think Jordan has made a decision with LaMelo. And I'm gonna put it out there. You're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna put it out there. It's either Rookie of the Year, Cole Anthony, or LaMelo Ball. I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm gonna be bold about it. You may not agree. That's cool, but let's just watch this whole thing pan out for the year. But I'm going with those two.
Cole Anthony, who's he play for?
Orlando Magic. Greg
Yeah,
Anthony's
Magic.
son.
Okay.
He plays for Magic.
But does he have enough clout? Like, or his game is doing the speaking for him? Because being a NBA supporter, I've heard him in the draft. I saw the highlights against him and LaMelo in terms of the fundamentals and his height and the game comparison. You know what I mean? So do you think that? I guess if his game is good, he'll rise above. But right now, he's not really well known.
He's not well known, no. And I actually didn't know he was Greg Anthony's son before. I was like, oh, I didn't know.
This is the first time hearing of
Yeah.
it. This is the first time hearing of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, that guy, when I watched him, he looked very fearless, and he just goes for it. And that's not someone you want on your team. You don't want someone who's going to be scared to do this or to do that. You just want someone to go all out, and he does that. So I'm gonna put my vote for him. But also I'm gonna go, like I said before in the previous episodes, I'm going with LaMelo too, because LaMelo's, man, you can just say he's done this, he's only scored this, but you know what? You gotta understand, like, it's a progression thing. And for me, he's helped Charlotte. You know, he's developed a new culture. He's added value to the culture now, and I think that's something big in Charlotte.
Yep, definitely. When I see the Charlotte, they're not the Bobcats anymore. The Charlotte Hornets play. I can see that it's like a youth. There's energy about them when they're on the court.
Yeah,
you know, they're like,
absolutely,
okay,
absolutely.
When they were playing Brooklyn, I was like, okay, cool. You guys are big names, but we have heart, and then we have the effort, the energy, right? Just seeing them take their shots, and actually they're growing. They're growing together as a team. It's definitely something to look out for this year.
Gordon Hayward did well for that game too against Brooklyn. So can you imagine if once they gel and once they click, man, you never know. You never know. So Charlotte, I think, is a team to watch this year. Yeah,
I really like that signing, Gordon signing, because there's not many free agents that are going to go to the Hornets. So it's a good signing. It gives them a focal point, and then it lets all the other guys fall into the roles, whatever the roles they are. You know? And the rookies just play their game. Coach, right. I'll hear from you, Coach. What things? What are the things that we're missing? You know, this is my update too.
I'm just not going to write off Toronto right now. They're struggling a bit, but I'm not going to write them off. I think Toronto, they've got Aaron Baines in the middle. They've still got, Lowry and things like that. They've still got guys there. So I don't want to write them off yet. I feel like they might be just a bit underdone right now. But I feel they might be the team that sneaks up in the East and can really pull someone's pants down, per se.
It's such a strange thing to say. Pull someone's pants down. Pull their decks down.
Yeah, yank their chain. You can yank their chain, you can pull their pants down. But I wouldn't write the Raptors off right yet. I mean, they've got a good coach, Nick Nurse. I always say about Nick Nurse being a coach. And same as Boston. I wouldn't write Boston off yet. You just said about Gordon Hayward going to Charlotte. It was good for him to get away from Boston. He needed to get away. They already had Tatum, Brown, and him in the same size, same position, playing at the same time. It didn't work. And that's where they failed. They got rid of the one problem, and now they can actually, focus on themselves. Same as Charlotte. Hayward can focus on himself. So but I don't want to write the Raptors off. I think they're going to be up there too. That might be the team that flies under the radar.
Yeah. It seems like the news outlets and in the NBA, they're not really talking about the Raptors. They're like I discussed earlier in this podcast. Like there's like a narrative, like every season. You know what I mean? Yes, RJ, you have your hand up, sir. You may talk.
It's just a shame. I'm going to bring this topic up, but one of our members who need to be here needs to hear this because it's one of the best highlights so far, in their probably last 10 years. New York upset Milwaukee. Did you see that?
Man,
this was I'm talking to you. Where are you?
I haven't watched the game because I immediately thought that when I looked at the schedule, they're going to lose. And when you posted on our social media, shout out if you're not following us on social media, follow us for the latest news. RJ is the man that keeping us all informed. Yeah, I was quite surprised. Have you guys seen the game, the highlights? Like, what happened?
They were just I don't know what happened with Milwaukee. Milwaukee kind of looked lost. They just didn't know what's going on, and New York seemed to be functioning. They seem to know what's happening. They seem to be gelling quite quick. And then I was just so surprised. I was like, wow. I was like, straight away, I was like, where's my phone? I'm gonna have to call D Swizzle right now. Um, I was just so surprised. I was like, wow. Okay, the New York could be a threat. Could be a threat is the highlight. So let's not jump.
Could.
Let's not jump for joy. Okay, so this is all you need to get back on and talk about this topic right now because this is like the best present you can have for Christmas.
100%. But if they can get their numbers right too, you know, aligned. You know what I'm saying? You can't have 25 and 23 somewhere.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Robinson, some fans. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, if you're watching this, make sure you follow us on Instagram at shooters_roll. So yeah, that's these are the things I have never seen before. But it has to be the Knicks. It always has to be the Knicks.
Oh yeah, has to be.
It has to be.
Cool. Let's sum up, I guess. The hardest situation and Houston Rockets. We mentioned it a bit earlier, but what do you guys think? If a player is disgruntled, you get what you can for him, or do you hold on to him? Like he's still producing. I mean, he's still playing well, but I think his demeanor is like in his head. He's already like his body's there. He's playing well, but
his mind has checked out.
His mind is checked out. Yeah.
His mind's checked out. He's just ready to go. So now for me, I think for him to I think he's just playing still to his potential is to keep his value for his trade and value. But apart from that,
he basically has to pay. He has to play for money, right? Like if he doesn't play, he doesn't get paid.
Yeah, absolutely, which is one of the good things because if he plays like crap, then we're not getting no show from Houston, are we? You know. Yeah. So apparently he had a run-in with one of the guys in the locker room already. So
Sydney
I
Kings.
just thought,
Sydney Kings, Sean Tate. See, in the NBA we play hard, and doesn't take shit from NBA stuff. So
yeah,
it shows the new guys. The new guys stepped in, pretty much probably caught Harden out about being there and just playing basketball, and Harden didn't like it.
Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need teammates to pull you up when you have a sort of like when you have like a crap attitude, when you're not about your ways, when you know that they are more than what they are, but they're not playing to their potential. You need teammates like that. That's the whole point. That's part of the camaraderie of the culture that you're trying to build a championship team. If you don't have that, then what are you there for? Like what? Trying to be there to pad up stats to get your money. I mean, no one wants that. I mean, it depends what organization, but look at the Lakers. Let's just say they've built their culture based on that. They hold up each other. They know that we're here to win. If you're not here, we're going to pull you up. Miami's the same with that culture. Coach Lloyd, that's for you. You're there to play. I mean, if you're not there to perform and you're not there to get the W each and every night and to sort of play like and practice like everyone, what are you doing there? Like, come on now.
Exactly. So you coach with the harder situation. What would you do if you're the GM? Like, are you going to hold on to him until you get equal value? But it doesn't sound like there's equal value out there. Or are you going to hold this guy for his 2-year contract and I don't know, put your GM cap on?
The Rockets already messed up when they got rid of Westbrook. Only because Westbrook was the person that called James Harden out in a team meeting. So they had a team meeting, they were doing video, and Harden was asleep at the desk. You know, when you get a round table, and Harden was asleep. So he rolls in, sits back in the chair, and went to sleep. And so guess what? And Westbrook goes, "Oh well, don't worry about him. Let's roll the video."
Yep.
But he's the one that has the clout to be able to do that. But I mean, they got rid of him, who someone's going to be there 100% of the time. And Harden now has just made them look like fools. They traded out CP3, they traded out Westbrook and kept him. And now he's the guy that wants to go.
No, But I think you've seen now what the problem is in Houston, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what you've got rid of CP3, you've got rid of the coach, you've gotten rid of Westbrook. I mean, they're not really the problem, are they? You know who the problem is now. So what are you gonna do about the problem? I mean, he's supposed to be the head honcho of the team. He's supposed to be leading the team for a championship, but it looks like he's just not working with Houston to sort of get to the next level. He's just there for the money. He's just there for the fame. He's not really there to get a ring. So now he wants to take the easy way out and wants to join Brooklyn, which you've got the top two ball hogs in the league. Then you add another. If you want to add a third ball hog, do you think that's gonna win? That's not gonna win.
Mm.
So
Austin, Jalen Brown and a couple of people for Harden. So, but I'd like Jalen Brown to stay in Boston. I think he fits that mold. Sammy Ojale said that Harden wouldn't work in their system.
Yeah, because you look at like that's Harden's resume, like he's not a winner, and then the playoffs he quits. So are you willing to give up your youth and your future for someone that good in the season, good stats, one of the MVP candidates every year, but doesn't deliver a championship? So and when Brooklyn gets asked, KD's like, I don't think about James Harden. What does that have to say? I mean, like,
he knows.
Yeah.
KD's pretty much saying, well, I don't want to play with myself.
That's another story. If he wants to play by himself.
It is another story.
Yeah, he likes to play with himself on Twitter with his burner accounts. Shout out Kenny. So yeah, it's I guess we're happy the NBA's back. Last thoughts, guys, before we wrap this up.
You just got to tune into the NBA. I mean, it's a good shortened season, and especially with the Lakers, still recovering from their glory. It's good to see how everyone's gelled so quick or so slowly. So I think it's going to be a great season, but it's going to be a back-to-back for the Lakers. I have to say it. So, and I think I know what anyone's going to say, but I think Miami will go back to the postseason.
Cool.
And I think, look, they've added another perimeter defender in Avery Bradley. I think that's going to be a great help. They've lost Crowder. Yeah, they lost Crowder. But I think I'm just going to say, I think it's quite a good swap. They've got a defender for a defender, a shooter and a shooter, because Bradley is a pretty decent shooter. I wouldn't say as good as Crowder, but I think it's sort of up there. But I still think Brooklyn, I think they'll get in 7th place. I don't think they'll get further than that. The way that everything is going, look at Atlanta. I think on paper and on what you've seen so far is something impressive. And I think it's and Charlotte, I think it's going to be another team. It's going to be a surprise behind Milwaukee, and Miami. So I think those teams in the East should be looked out for. So what are your pick? What do you think, boys? Like, what do you think about it?
Coach?
Look, I'm just thinking about tomorrow. We got the Knicks and the Cavs. I'm thinking about tomorrow's games. Knicks and Cavs tomorrow, and then the Raptors and the Sixers. Hello, Eastern Conference. Let's, but no one's spoken about the Sixers today, which...
No one's talking about Sixers, yeah.
No one's talking about Sixers. So there's one that can fly under the radar, but that's what I said about the Raptors. And then you've got the Bucks and the Heat tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
MIA.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Won the party.
Yeah, so my thoughts on the NBA season is, definitely Lakers to repeat as they wear Lakers jersey. They just got better. And in terms of the East, 76ers is a team to watch for. New coach, new system, new players, new shooters. Like watching them in the first couple of games has been interesting. They dropped a couple, but they also look like they're a bit more organized now. They're organized to know what they're doing, and Embiid's been the man at the moment. In terms of the East, anyone can come out. Even the Knicks might make the 8. Or they don't need to make the 8. They don't need to make the 8, right? You think about it, because this year's playing. So you just make the top 10. Make the 10. Remember, you make the 10, and then they have to play off for seeding, and then for the 7th, 8th spot. A bit like the bubble. Remember the bubble, RJ? When you got the Grizzlies versus Portland? Yeah, and the Portland got in. So it'll be interesting because it actually allows the NBA to make more money because they're not making enough money. So, and then on top of that, it allows the fan bases to still be included. So you come 10th, and usually you're like, oh, okay, season's done. We wouldn't have a shot to make it. At least if you're Sacramento Kings, like, made 10th, or the Phoenix Suns, you're making 10th, it'd be awesome, right? And then you have that shot and that energy to get into the 8th and 7th, and it allows them to ride into the playoffs for the first round with some momentum. And I guess the opportunity to win game 1, of course, 1 versus 8, and then see what happens. As happened last year when Portland took the game 1 of the Lakers. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was interesting, right? And then, you got Charles Barkley saying that, Portland's going to win the championship. Mentioning Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley put his money where his mouth is. He put $100,000 in for Portland to win the NBA championship this year.
Can you maybe if he's going to throw it away?
If he's going to throw it away, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy, but it probably just shows how much money he makes. $100,000 is like what, $100 or something. Yeah. Cool, boys. That's all we had for today. Thanks for jumping back on, and hopefully we can do this more often. So definitely we're gonna do more lives. Shout out to everyone. If you want to be on this live, follow our stuff. Hit us up. We usually shoot on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern time in Sydney. So we love anyone that listens to this podcast and the videos to basically join us and talk some NBA basketball. I do want to talk one day about the Australian team, which we'll be playing in Tokyo if everything happens in COVID. I'm really excited about all the NBA Australians. Yeah, that will be in the team this year. So we'll definitely talk about that in an early podcast. So stay tuned. More NBA usually, but we'll also got NBL starting. So Coach Lloyd is heavily connected to the NBL with all the players. So we definitely want inside knowledge, and we'll basically shoot some more podcasts. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, boys. We'll see you in the next one.
See you, boys.
Cheers.